Today was one of them days, man, where I was like sitting down reflecting on stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know I'm in VA, and I've been in Virginia since like 2008, right? I'm from New York, right? And like I just sit back and I think, like, where all my friends is, like how everybody just took different paths, and you know, I'm talking about friends from kindergarten to first grade, and sandbox babies. You know what I'm saying? And it's just amazing how everybody just took their own path. You know what I'm saying? Like I was looking back at some of my ex-girlfriends, like my high school sweetheart. She was like, I guess we was in a relationship. I guess you could say that. You know what I'm saying? She was 15, I was 17. You know what I'm saying? Now she a CO, she a correction officer in Rikers Island. It's crazy. I never thought she would do anything like that. Because I can remember before, like when she first started getting into corrections, she was like, she'll hit me up and like, this was like a few years back. Like we still stayed in contact, and she'd be like, yo, what gun do you like the best, the Ruger or the Glock? And we started like getting into that kind of stuff. You know, it was crazy. And shout out to her, man. Shout out to her. And then like some of my friends, it's crazy, man. Like, it's amazing how life is. Me personally, I was a book smart kid, but I was a street kid. So like I had the best of both worlds. You can't just have one. You can't just be a street dude and not know nothing up here. And you can't just be a bookworm and not know nothing about the streets. You gotta be street smart while you book smart. I kind of was like Fresh. You know the little dude from the movie Fresh? That was kind of like me. That's why I love that movie. That's why it's one of my favorite movies, because Fresh reminded me of me. Laid back, peeping everything, watching everybody play, and and moving, and shaping the way I move is crazy. Because the movie Fresh, he was pretty much like, that was like the game of chess. If you watch that movie, that was like the game of chess. And in New York, sometimes this is how you gotta move like that. To a lot of people that's not from up there, they be thinking that, they go to Times Square and everything is all sweet and nice. No, that's not the real New York, bro. That's fantasy, bro. You want to know what New York really about? Going to the boroughs, man. Cross over the Brooklyn Bridge, or going to certain parts of Staten Island, certain parts of get out of that part of Manhattan, go uptown, go to the Bronx, certain parts of Queens, and then you'll know what it really about. But I remember all my friends, man. Like some of my friends from kindergarten, a lot of us were in the same class for like years, and then some of us started splitting up when we got to junior high school. Some of us went to different junior highs, but most of the kids from my block and from the blocks next to me, and we all ended up in the same junior high. And then high school came. That's kind of like when a lot of us branched out, but a lot of us were still hanging together. But through the years, it's crazy, just watching how some people actually moved away and started families, and then some made it to the grave, and some made it to jail. For instance, two of my friends, one of them, he got 36 to life. One of my other friends got 55 to life. And one of my little homies, y'all probably heard of him, my man Zaza from Brownsville. Shout out to him. He doing 105 years. He's the dude from the movie with Wesley Snipes and the damn, so I'm getting old. What movie is that? Damn. They called him Ziggy Zah. That was my little man right there, Ziggy Zah. Oh yeah, he doing $105, man. And Yo, you know what's crazy? Yeah, he was from the movie Brooklyn's Finest. Yeah, he was in that. You know the ill shit about all that? Like, some of these little dudes, I used to tell them, yo, son, y'all niggas gotta move a little different out here. Yeah, I hear you, OG, word. That was what I used to get from him when I used to go visit. And then, like, I get phone calls. Yo, you know, what's your name died? You know, he got shot in the head. I'm like, God damn, bro. You know how fucked up it is when you raise some of these little dudes and then you find out they died? It's crazy. But as far as my age group, the two people I mentioned, besides Zah, they got life. 30-something life, 50-something life. One of my mans, he got killed during they trying to rob a spot. He got shot. He died. A couple of other people I grew up with went to jail for like pedo allegations, and this shit is crazy, man. And then like some other people that I grew up with, one of them became a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? A couple of other people ended up homeless. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to watch. Everybody started off even, right? You know what I'm saying? And then life just get to everybody, and it just, whatever paths everybody take, that's the paths they take. It's amazing, man. And then I look back at me, you know what I'm saying? I've been through my fair share of things in the street, and God got me through it. You know what I'm saying? And I always feel like I'm supposed to be doing something great. And I am doing something great. You know, y'all gotta stay tuned. Y'all gotta stay tuned. I know y'all like comics, right? So y'all stay tuned, man. There's some things that I got popping that I'm working on that I want to do. So I'm a comic book head. I'm just gonna leave it there. But there's some other things too. Yeah, I know y'all be saying that to yourself. Like, you know, when you move away to another place, different from you living in a big city, and you move somewhere where you can actually breathe and flourish a little bit more, and then you just be like, damn, man, I actually made it through this. I actually made it through that. And you feel blessed. You know what I mean? Everything, you know, that shit happens everywhere, right? But when you move somewhere where it's less of it, you know, when you in New York your whole life, people on top of you, everybody below you, people on the side of you all your life. When you finally, y'all don't understand. It's something I want to explain about New York. Why is it different from other cities? Here's the difference with New York, man. People say, oh, New York is like any other city. It's not, bro. I'm explaining to you what I mean. New York City has the highest population out of any city in America. So there's cities in New York that are bigger in land area than New York City. And they have way less people, man. They might have like 800,000 people or something like that. Do you understand? Staten Island by itself got 500,000-600,000 people. Brooklyn got about 3 million people. That city got 8.7 million people. Can you imagine living in a place like that? The shit you see, the shit you got to go through, even if you ain't a person that stays in trouble, trouble gonna find you. At least in other cities, man, you could kind of like shake and move around shit a little bit better. It's less people. You could breathe a little bit better. You can't do that in New York. I'm telling you, man. Anybody from the city, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you from the boroughs, you know exactly what I mean. Whole life living in projects, living in tenements, whatever it is, living on blocks where, you know what I mean, shit happens, shit goes down. That's like that in every city, but I'm telling you now, New York is a different dynamic, man. It's too many people, bro. And you can't breathe, man. You start feeling smothered. And I said, man, nah, I got to get out of here, bro. Like, it's time, man. I'm tired of the noise. I'm tired of the bums. You know what I'm saying? Man, I haven't rode the train since like 2007, man. Every time I go up there, one of my daughters be wanting to ride the train. I'm like, man, I'm not taking you on that shit, bro. I ain't never taking you on no trains and no subways. I know it's an experience. I might do that. Maybe take her like 1 or 2 stops on the train, then we get off so she can see how it is. But I'll take her on the Long Island Railroad before I take her on New York City Transit, man. You know, so it's like I feel very blessed and grateful And you should too, that you got away from any of these cities where you can't breathe, bro. Like you can't, a lot of these big cities, you can't fucking breathe. But in New York, you pretty much get smothered. I left New York. I was in my shit, '08. I was 27. I ain't have none of this. This is wisdom right here. I remember when I left, I looked back on the highway. I was on the turnpike. I looked back and like I saw the. Is that a gunshot? I don't know if y'all heard that. It sounded like a gunshot. That sounds just like a gunshot. Sound like two gunshots. I gotta get my gun ready. See? Yeah. But what I was saying, man, I ain't gonna make this too much longer. I'm proud to have, made it out of there, in one piece. Because a lot of situations I was put in, I should have been up out of here, man. But I made it out. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of y'all been in the same situation, man. So you've been blessed, man. Make the most of your blessings, man. Especially in these crazy times, you know what I'm saying? Make the most of your blessings, dog. I'm trying to do the same with mine, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like jail. When you get out of jail, you be like, you don't care if you working at McDonald's. You're like, you don't give a fuck what it is as long as you're not in prison no more. That's how I felt about living in New York. Like, when I moved out, I said, man, I don't give a fuck if I live in the woods. I just want to get out of here. I used to say that. Like, I just want to get out of here, bro. Y'all don't understand. You know what I'm saying? To all the people that's from New York that left, that moved to other states, y'all know what I'm talking about. Even if you're living in another state that's buck-ass wild sometimes, it still ain't like New York, because it's like you could still be in the cut. You can't be in the cut in New York, bro. You got to go to like Long Island or Westchester to be in the cut. You know what I'm saying? You can't be in the cut in the city, man. You can't. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to y'all, man. And all the lives that have been lost over the years that I grew up with, man, RP to y'all. And sometimes when I drive up there, I got to stop in the cemetery, man. I got to see some of the folk I grew up with. And it be bothering me because I'm like, damn, son, we came up together. We was supposed to leave together. I had some plans with some of my friends. We was going to leave the city together with our families. And sometimes it don't work like that. But, yeah, anyway, man. Much love to y'all. Stay tuned. I got some videos coming, man. I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm off this.